Team Go Rocket Takeover event is up next in Pokemon Go. We have a brand new Pokemon Go debut which can be shiny. Giovanni is taking capture of a new legendary Pokemon. We've got some incredible bonuses that are actually going to stack with some upcoming events. And as usual, we're going to take you through some top tips and targets you definitely want to be focusing on because there are new Shadow Pokemon. This is the Psychic Spectacular.
Taken over.
Let's get time and dates out of the way. Guys, the Psychic Spectacular Taken Over event is going to be starting on Tuesday, the 16th at 10 a.m., running all the way until Sunday, the 21st at 8 p.m. local time, which brings about our new Pokemon Go debut, Indeedee. There's two. Indeedee is a psychic and normal type Pokemon originally coming from the Galar region. However, Indeedee has two forms, a male form and a female form, which actually have different stats. The male form Indeedee is going to have a max CP of 2762, an attack of 208, a defense of 166, and a stamina of 155. The fast attacks it'll have access to is only extrasensory, and the charge moves it has access to is going to be Psybeam, Shadow Ball, and Psychic. For Indeedee female, the max CP is going to be 2710, an attack of 184, a defense of 184, and a stamina of 172, so a slightly more defensive Pokemon. Also, its fast attacks is going to be extrasensory only. It's going to learn Psybeam, Psychic, and Energy Ball as its charge moves. The great thing about this male and female Indeedee is that it can be shiny in this event as well, but it looks like we can only encounter them through 5-kilometer eggs. It may come in field research. Let's get onto those bonuses now. It's going to be additional candy for throwing nice throws or better. It's going to be half egg hatch distance when the eggs are placed into an incubator. We get an increased chance for XL candy for throwing nice throws or better for trainers level 31 and up, which is huge. Lunatone and Solrock will be appearing both in this event. Team Go Rocket balloons will be appearing more frequently at Pokestops. I believe those balloons will come around every 3 hours as opposed to every 6. We will be able to remove frustration. Remember, the only way you can do that is to use a charged TM. And last but not least, Shadow Pokemon caught in 1 and 3-star raids are going to have a wider variance of IVs, which means we can get some PvP IVs. Spawning in the wild, we have a lot of Psychic Pokemon. We have Abra, Lunatone, Solrock. We can get a rare response for something like Beldum. I do know something like Gothita will be in there as well. I'm going to say it again because it's very frustrating. They are not telling us what is going to be spawning in the wild, and I think they're just doing that so we can get out and play and find out for ourselves. It looks like the September Shadow Raids will be continuing, and 1-star Shadow Raids we have Shadow Bellsprout, Shadow Apom, Shadow Seedot, and Shadow Teddiursa. And 3-star Shadow Raids we're going to have Shadow Absol, Shadow Whirlipede, as well as Shadow Girafarig. And at 5-star raids, Shadow Regigigas will be spawning too. Then Giovanni has taken capture of Incarnate Form Tornadus, which unfortunately this Pokemon is not going to be the most sought after. So if I were you, before this event starts, if you manage to catch this video, try and use your rocket radars on something like Giratina, especially if you're into PvP. It's going to be a much better option than Tornadus. Then my favorite part of this video, we have new Shadow Pokemon going down. It's worth noting as well that the leaders Cliff, Sierra, and Arlo will have new Pokemon. We will pin them in the comments because we don't know what they are as of yet, but the new Shadow Pokemon are going to be Shadow Quillfish, Shadow Swablu, Shadow Baltoy, as well as Shadow Dino. There are some bangers in here and we're going to discuss why at the end. Field research tasks will be going down. We can complete them to get fast TMs, charged TMs, as well as mysterious components so we can get rocket radars a lot faster. And speaking of research, there will be a paid timed research ticket for a total cost of $5, and you're effectively going to get 2 premium battle passes, 1 super rocket radar, as well as encounters with Pokemon like Ralts, Gothita, Wordier, and more. Top tips time. How do I maximize this event? Tip number 1, and I know we've said this already if you have watched our previous videos, but guys, please remember the Gothita Spotlight Hour on September the 16th from 6 to 7 p.m. local time. The bonus of that hour is going to be 2 times catch XP, but it doesn't end there. We're in the middle of the XP celebration event, which is also a 2 times catch XP bonus, and those bonuses are going to stack, which means that hour is going to be a 4 times catch XP bonus. On a lucky egg, it's going to be 8 times catch XP. You're going to be getting between 8 and 9,000 XP per excellent throw on a lucky egg. Please mark your calendar and remember to play that hour because Gothita is a very easy excellent throw as well, and an incredible opportunity to get a huge amount of XP. I'm talking millions in 1 hour. Tip number 2, candy gains. How do I really maximize getting candy in this event? Because there definitely are some psychic Pokemon you want to be getting candy for, and the main one that we've seen in the spawn pool is going to be Beldum. Beldum goes into Metagross, and finally Mega Metagross will be coming to the game, and it will be one of the best psychic as well as the best steel type attackers in the entire game. Mega Evolve a level 3 psychic Pokemon. You could use something like a Mega Alakazam, Mega Slowbro, Mega Gardevoir, Mega Latias, Mega Latios, and even Mega Gallade. More than that though, this is huge. Guys, remember, Shadow Groudon Raid Weekend will be happening in the middle of this event, and if we just cast our eyes back at the bonuses, you can I'm so glad they've done this. You can see that it's going to be additional candy as well as XL candy for throwing nice throws or better. Guys, this is a huge opportunity to really maximize those Groudon raids because you're going to be getting more candy. And if you have a ground type Mega Pokemon evolved, because Groudon is a pure ground type, you're going to get a huge amount of candy. And as we know, Groudon going into Primal Groudon is one of the best Pokemon in this game and will be for the foreseeable future. Incredible opportunity for candy gains there as well. Tip number 3 has to do with the half egg hatch distance. Guys, something they've introduced only in September is that the certain spawn pools for the month of September only will be featuring certain Pokemon. In 2-kilometer eggs, we're gonna have Bulbasaur, Trico, Azurill, and Wynot. And 5-kilometer eggs, you're gonna have Alolan Grimer, Pichu, and Riolu. And in 10-kilometer eggs, Beldum appears again, as well as Mawile and more. Please focus on Pokemon like Bulbasaur and Trico. Both of those go into Mega Venusaur as well as Mega Sceptile. Brilliant grass type attackers in the game, some of the best. In the 5-kilometer eggs, look at Riolu. You could get very lucky and hatch a Honda Riolu, which of course is going to serve you incredibly well as Mega Lucario, because as we know, Mega Lucario is the best fighting type attacker in the game. And because of the half egg hatch distance, these eggs are going to be a lot easier to hatch. Tip number 4, and one of the biggest things you cannot forget, remove frustration. I got a very easy tip for you guys to take advantage of this. Guys, every single Shadow Pokemon you catch, or go through your bag and just type in Shadow. This is going to bring up every single Shadow Pokemon in your bag. I want you to go over to your tab to make a frustration folder. This way you can include every single Shadow Pokemon that you want to remove frustration from, so you don't get lost through your bag and you forget to remove frustration on certain Pokemon. Just drop them all into that folder, and when it's time, use a charge TM to remove frustration on every single one of them. Believe me, Shadow Pokemon are huge, and the reason why is because Shadow Pokemon on attack gain 20% more power, but on the defensive side, they decrease by about 20% as well. So please remember to remove frustration, a huge thing of this event. Next up, we have our top targets, and there's no better way to start off than discussing our new Shadow Pokemon. Starting off with Shadow Quillfish. Unfortunately, this is probably the worst of the new Shadow Pokemon, and to be honest, will probably be just a Dex entry. There could be a case where this Pokemon could feature in certain metas, but I think it's going to be very niche, and I don't think it's going to be very useful for us at all. Next up is going to be Shadow Baltoy going into Shadow Claydol. If we look at the regular form of Claydol right now, is currently ranked 61st in the Great League, which is actually very impressive, and it has been pretty consistent for some time. The reason why this Shadow is, I think, going to perform so well is that the main move on this Pokemon is generally Mud Slap, which is a very slow charging move, but it hits tremendously hard. And with that Shadow bonus of 20% on its attack, I think this Pokemon could absolutely melt. So please, if you're into PvP, give Claydol a try. I think it's going to be very useful for you. It also has a wide variety of charge moves that are pretty hard hitting. So if you do manage to get some of those moves off, you're going to boom a lot of different Pokemon. A really good Shadow in my opinion. Next up, we have Shadow Swablu going into Shadow Altaria. We already know that Altaria is not really a good raid attacking Pokemon, but in PvP, it's always been very consistent, very bulky, and because it has the fast move of Dragon Breath, with that Shadow bonus as well of 20%, I think Shadow Altaria could be a very interesting spice pick, and I think it's gonna absolutely melt with that fast move pressure. Next up, and probably the most hype of the new Shadows, we have Shadow Dino going into Shadow Hydreigon. Guys, this Pokemon, and we just had to look at the stats, it is beating out Shadow Tyranitar in the dark type category. Just if you look at its DPS, it is slightly higher, which I think is absolutely amazing, and I always knew this Pokemon would perform very well. Our next Pokemon we would definitely focus on is going to be Shadow Turdursa in 1-star raids. If you don't have a good Shadow Ursaluna, please grab this Pokemon. It is one of the better ground type attackers in the game with that high horsepower. Unfortunately, to get Ursaluna, you need to evolve this during a full moon, but if you don't have that, you can always use Dawn Wings Necrozima's Moongeist Beam, which will allow this Pokemon to evolve into Ursaluna from Ursaring, but you will need an Elite TM for high horsepower, which is an incredibly strong ground type move. And even in the Master League, Shadow Ursaluna, if you manage to get a hundo or a 98 that you want to power up, I'm telling you, this Pokemon is going to do some incredible damage for you. Don't sleep on Shadow Ursaluna. If you guys want to see everything going on in Pokemon Go this week, please check it out to our left. We're going to leave it as the end screen, and then on Saturday night, we will change to the next week because that's when our episodes drop. Guys, appreciate you being here. Please smash that like and subscribe button. We really want to grow the channel. It's growing by the day, and we need your support, and we can only grow with you guys. Love you guys. Go with us. This is a Psychic Spectacular.
taken over.